and that is how you can take your business to the virtual world. And if you haven't done that already, you're moving in that direction. And so that's what we're going to talk today. And hopefully at the end of today, you will have all of the little points ready to go, and you will know exactly what you need to do to take your business online. And so the talk is that, you know, either you're going to go all virtual, or if you're going to have a hybrid business model, both of them are great. But today we're going to talk about all about being online. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with y'all, and hopefully this will all work. See, this is all about being in the virtual world here. So
let me know if you have any problems. I think I have it set right for you.
Okay, so I've shared my screen, and so now it says share screen. And now I'm going to share the screen. Okay.
I see you.
You see me? Okay, great. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just move my little box up here out of the way so that you don't see my face moving. Okay. So gang, we're going to talk about 5 strategies for you as a personal trainer to take your business to the virtual world, and so that you can create massive impact. What's great about our opportunity right now is that not only are you locked into a local area training in person, but you can take your business worldwide. You know, the cyberspace is just the limit here. So you have unlimited opportunity to be able to do that. So today what we're going to talk about is how to understand the nuts and bolts of online training. A lot of times that is one of the factors that holds back a lot of people, because they just don't know how to get the nuts and bolts going. Like, what camera should I use? What video product should I use? So we're going to talk about that today, just so that, not go into detail, but at least that gets you moving in the right direction. Also, you know, once you've got the nuts and bolts down and you've got a fabulous program, how do you get more clients? How do you build that business and start making money? Also, Melissa and I have been talking about this, and that is your soft skills as a personal trainer or a group fitness instructor. And so we're going to talk a little bit about how to sharpen your soft skills. See what I did there? And then also how to appeal to your avatar. Who is your perfect client? And then lastly, how to reorganize your business to generate maximum revenue. So let's just get into it. All right, you guys, I love this because some of you have gone through all of these emotions. I know I did when everything came tumbling down in 2020, but we're not going to focus on that. We're going to be moving forward. And so I just felt like here was the fitness industry talking to the personal trainer saying, okay, you have to go online. And so maybe you felt like, oh no, that's just impossible. I give up. I can't compete. No way. So down here at the bottom left, this little girl, I give up. So maybe you felt that way. Or maybe you were this little boy over here. I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. I'm just going to continue doing what I do. Or you might be that top girl on the left. Let me cry it out. I'm just going to cry. I've tried. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll try after I cry it out. And then that girl over to the right, I love that. I'm frustrated. I hate change, but I'm listening. So you're stubborn, but you're just finally breaking down. You're like, all right, we're going to move this business online. Or because you guys are here, this is you. I know nothing, but I'm willing to learn everything. Or it could be that you know something, but maybe you just want to sharpen up some skills and maybe gather some information, a nice little nugget that maybe you haven't heard before. And hopefully that's you today. Or you're killing it. You're killing it in the industry. I got this. I'm doing it. Maybe there's just one little nugget I can take away, but I got this. So that's, you know, all of our reactions that we've had during this wonderful time that we've enjoyed. But now is the time. You may have been flirting around with going online, taking your business to the masses. You flirt around with the idea. Maybe you experimented with different all of that. And now you're ready to pull it all together and get serious about your business and taking it online. So first, let's talk about the nuts and bolts of online training. And so maybe there might be a little glitch that you're having, and maybe hopefully after today, after this webinar, something that I may say that might inspire you, that maybe clicks for you, you know, that little light bulb that goes off that you see in many of your clients and you get all super excited. So the technical equipment. So first you have to decide what video device you're going to use. So whether it's your video camera that you have, you know, the old school video cameras that we had, or you can think about using your laptop camera, maybe even just your smartphone, which is, smartphones today are amazing. They have such clear quality about them. So it's totally doable to use a smartphone. You definitely want to have a tripod so that you can steady your camera, or if you have a laptop that you're using, definitely have a steady base for your laptop. But you just want to make that experience for your clients and your participants quality. You want to make it enjoyable for them. So definitely your video device is important. So either a tripod or a base. Make sure you've got great lighting, that people can see you, especially if you're leading a fitness class or if you are personal training, and if you're demonstrating an exercise, you want to make sure that your people can see you demonstrating properly. Also, your microphone, if you're going to use a lapel mic or a headset mic, you want to make sure that your people can hear you properly. Now, sometimes your microphone on your smartphone or your laptop would be just fine. So just make sure that they can hear you clearly. Also, if you decide to use music, your music source. So where is that music going to come from? Is it going to come from your computer? Are you going to play music? Are you going to use a sound system while playing music? Is it just going to be background music, or are you going to use music to do choreograph fitness moves? Or if you're just going to use music off of your phone. So you have to decide, if you are going to use music, how are you going to play it? What source are you getting it from? Also, if you are going to be fancy schmancy, now you don't have to be state of the art here to lead great classes or to have a great personal training session. But if you are that type of person that loves to have all the gadgets and you have several cameras set up in your space, think about getting a studio switcher for multiple cameras. So there are products out there that will automatically switch your camera for you. And so it's really nice because it'll have different angles. It'll have your face, it'll have your frontal view. It might have an angle so people can see you from the side. So think about that. Also, you might want to give a tutorial for your clients about tech, because if you're having an issue getting over this hump, which you will get over this little obstacle if this is holding you back, your clients may be having a little hump. Now, I know here in Georgia, especially where I live, where I am, my internet connection is awful. And so I have to be very careful about how I am presenting my online clients. So typically if I am, and we'll get into this in a little bit, but if I am providing content and if I'm videotaping from my home, I do it not live, but I pre-record it and then I play. Just because my internet is so bad. So you might have to have that discussion with your clients to educate them on their internet connection. It may not be the fact that they're offbeat. It could be just a delay in the internet. And that's totally fine. You can work with your people and help them through that. So that's one example. Also, your clients may not know how to, for one little example, know how to work Zoom or Skype, or whatever product that you're using to deliver your message. You might have to help them out and educate them a little bit for your technical equipment. So then we already talked about internet connection. That is a big deal. I'm super excited because finally, in probably about the next 2 or 3 weeks, we are getting cable fiber access to internet. So for those of you that can kind of relate to this, right now we have 20 megs. And as soon as we get the cable installed, we will have 200 megs as the minimum internet speed. So super excited. That's very important. So just make sure that it's good quality internet. Also, when you're thinking about the nuts and bolts of your online business, What platform are you going to use? How do you want to deliver your message? So one way that you can do it is called one directional or video on demand. So in other words, necessarily see your participants. They can see you, but that you cannot see them. So a couple examples would be if you were to go and do a fitness class on Facebook Live or Instagram Live. So you're doing a live broadcast, one directional. And then once you decide you're going one direction, I don't need to say the name of the group, but anyway, once you decide you're going one directional, then decide how your participants are going to attend your class or your training session. So it could be through subscription, meaning that your people pay a monthly fee, and then whatever content you put out there, it's based on subscription. They have all access to your content. It could be a transaction video on demand where they pay per view. So if they go, let's say, to your website and they see this fantastic workout and it's just kind of like a one and done workout, they can pay for that one workout. Also, another video on demand is for advertising. And this is free content. So this is your live broadcast. So if you're going on Facebook Live or Instagram Live or Instagram TV, I should say, this is your free content. This is a great marketing tool for you to use to give like a little mini workout, like a 15-minute workout. And all the people that follow you, or if you're friends with, they can see you doing the workout. It's going to be live and it's free content for them. So that's an excellent tool for you to be able to market what you do. So, you definitely want to have some sort of a website so that you can do purchases for your clients. You can use Facebook, you can do Instagram TV, you can do YouTube, you can even password protect your content on YouTube. So that's something that you'll have to determine what you want to use. There's so much out there that it's super easy to figure out what you want to do for that one directional video on demand. Now, the other option you can do is that two directional. We also understand it to be video conferencing, and that is where your participants or your clients can see you and you can see them. So examples are Zoom. That could be a platform that you use, Skype, even Google Hangouts. Those are just a few examples of the two directional. That's perfect if you're going to be doing one-on-one sessions or small group training. That way you can see what they're doing, you can correct them, and then help guide them through that two directional. Now, here's a great thing that you can do. If you are doing both live classes and video on demand, repurpose your content. So let's say you're doing your live classes through Facebook or Zoom, and it's live. You can record them at the same time and then put it up on your video on demand platform. So if someone misses your live class, you can be recording it, but then they will have all access to that class or that training session with your subscription. So that's an excellent way that you can repurpose your live classes, record it, and then put it up on your video on demand. That's what we're doing with this webinar right now. You guys are attending live, but I know Melissa is recording, and so we are going to have you, because you've registered, we might not have everybody that attended today live, but they will have access to the recording. Same concept. Also, another thing that you need to think about as a trainer is there are other ways that you can educate your clients. In other words, right now it's super hot to provide a course. You can do like a 6-week series on Pilates. And that is a course that you can educate your people on different topics at the same time they're exercising. So think about maybe doing a course. Also, do you have an app? That's another way that you can take your personal training business online. Have an app to provide. But regardless of whatever you choose, if it's one directional, two directional, different types of platforms like courses, apps, You need to have a way that you can collect payment. And it's so easy right now. You've got PayPal, you've got Stripe, you've got Venmo, so many opportunities that you can collect payment. And they even have programs in there where you can send invoices if you need to. So, or they do an automatic draft. It's super easy these days to make that happen. All right, now the next thing when we're talking about nuts and bolts online is you want to talk about your fitness equipment. Are you going to be using fitness equipment, or is it just going to be a body weight type of program? But you definitely want to make it easy for your participants to have in-home equipment. And during your consultation with your new clients coming on board, you'll want to educate them on what type of equipment that they need. You'll need to be very clear when you're marketing your fitness programs, the kind of equipment that you're going to use. Also, you might have like a introductory session where you're helping your clients understand how to use the equipment, especially if you have new clients that are coming on board. Maybe do a little tutorial or a workshop on how to properly use the equipment that you're using for your sessions. Also, you want to make sure that the equipment that you're using, let's say it's two-directional, it's going to be easy for you to manage as a trainer. So whatever equipment that they're using, your people are safe when they're using the equipment and that they know how to use it properly. And it's easy for you as a trainer to manage them as they're using the equipment, spot out some inconsistencies with their movement or their technique to be able to help them mobilize properly. Also, just keep in mind that having equipment may be a deterrent for somebody to be able to take your class if they don't have a specific piece of equipment that you're using. So that all goes back to when they first come on board as a client, a first client of yours, just educate them, tell them, hey, we got a workshop coming up that's going to teach you how to use this equipment, and I highly recommend that you participate in that. So, you know, maybe a deterrent, but if you as the trainer take control of that situation and help them, you're good to go. Also, another little nuts and bolts of online training is your filming space. Make sure it looks professional. It doesn't have to be, you know, highfalutin, fancy, but make sure it does look professional. Make sure you have enough space so that you can demonstrate the exercises. Make sure you don't have any backlight. That's the big thing. You don't want to look like you're in the, the protection program, witness protection program. So you want to make sure that you're not backlit. That's a main thing. Also, you want to make sure that you choose proper clothing, that you're not going to get lost in whatever background you have, or maybe the clothing that you're wearing up against a piece of equipment, you don't get lost with the equipment. So just make sure that you're bright and people can see you. You might even think about, let's say if you're doing video on demand, you know, think about having a green screen. Make it interesting for your people to view your video on demand. Or if you're doing live broadcasts, just make sure your backdrop is clean. You even may want to make it interesting as well for, you know, the type of backdrop that you have. It could be outside, it could be inside, but make sure it's clean. Also, the music. You know, you just have to think about if situation and you've got choreography going on with your class, you might want to think about what music am I going to use? If you're going to have no music at all, or if you're just going to use the music as background. But if you are going to be using music as part of your choreography, think about doing an audio mixer board so that your voice doesn't take over the music and it doesn't compete in the internet. Think about using a microphone or headset so that people can hear you over the music, or it may be mixed well, going back to that audio mixer. And then also choreography. Keep in mind that if you are doing a live broadcast and you're using the internet, keep in mind that you may have some lag time because of the internet. And if that's the case, just go slower in your cueing, be very clear and concise as you're cueing. And just understand that you're just going to have to, maybe if you're doing 32 count phrasing, just make sure that your steps take a little longer than to transition to another step. Also, I don't want to really get into this too deep, but keep in mind that if you choose to do music, there are music copyrights. There are two different types of copyrights. You have an artist label copyright, you have a writer publisher copyright. So if you decide that you're going to be using Spotify, Napster, and they do exist, believe it or not, iTunes, just remember that you're going to run into some issues with copyrights if you're using that as music, because you do have to pay the artist, label, publisher, all of that stuff. So you will be infringing on that. So there are different kinds of licensing that you can get if you do decide that. So you want to pay like a yearly licensing to BMI or ASCAP, and they have music that's part of their catalog that you can use if you are paying that license. Also keep in mind that there is a mechanical and a synchronized copyright. So if the mechanical copyright is audio, and it's just music that's playing in the background, like if you go to a store, or if you go to it's just audio. But as soon as you lay down music over your video, it's then synchronized. And so there's different copyrights for different ways that you're going to use music. So you have to decide if you're doing live streaming or on demand, because there are two different rules for different ways that you're delivering your fitness program. But there are a lot of fitness or music companies that do provide royalty-free music that you can use if you are doing video on that. So Muscle Mixes is a company that we partner with at Fit Tour. So you can dive deeper into that if that's something you're interested in. And I highly recommend the Muscle Mixes music if that's something you decide. All right, so now that you've got all the nuts and bolts out of the way, you've kind of figured out how you're going to deliver your message, you know, what platform you're using, what tech equipment you're using. Now you got to think about, okay, who is my perfect avatar? Who is your client? Who do you want to train? So how you pick out your avatar is you just want to be hyper clear about who you are targeting. And that's really, really important, especially online. It's so easy to now target your perfect avatar with the program that you have these days with being online. We are not everything to all people. Yes, we want to build, everybody wants health and fitness, right? Maybe they haven't decided that that's exactly what they want to do right now, but you know, we just can't be all things to everyone. So when you're thinking about your perfect avatar, you want to think about being very clear who you are as a trainer, what you offer, what type of programming do you offer, and why does it matter to your future client. So once you drill down those three things, it'll be super easy to go after your audience, that is your perfect avatar, and to target them. And I know that sounds very harsh, but that's what we do in marketing. We target who we want to talk to, who we want to deliver the message, but those people, our perfect avatar, they want what you have and what you offer. So that could be something like, for example, when you want to specialize in something, let's just say you are a specialist at teaching people with multiple sclerosis and exercise that helps their symptoms of MS group. So that is who you are. Very easy to be able to go after who those people are, how you can help them. And trust me, they are looking for anything that will help them improve their lifestyle, give them better health. Maybe you are a restorative health trainer. Maybe you do great yoga classes geared towards that. You might be someone who focuses on young athletes. So you just have to decide what is your passion, what do you specialize in, and then go after that avatar. So you want to go after where they hang out. Where does your avatar hang out? That is so easy to do in all these Facebook groups. You can go into LinkedIn, all these social platforms. You go where your avatar hangs out, but don't be creepy about it, right? So you don't want to go into their group and just blast them with marketing. That is not what it's all about. It's about connecting with those people, finding out who they are. When you find out who they are, then you can connect with them, and then you can help them with what it is that you offer. Be a giver. In other words, provide that group, your avatar, information. And it will take time to build up trust with these people, with your avatar, but over time, they will see your content and they will trust and they will believe in what you have to offer. And then voila, eventually they may become a paying client of yours. Also, another great way to go after your avatar are hashtags. Find out what the hashtags are. Is there even a need for what you offer? So hashtags in Instagram is valuable to find out, you know, if you'll be successful with who you want to target. So again, specialize in what you offer in terms of your program. Specialize in the groups. It's very easy these days to specialize in a specific fitness domain, and because those people need you. You may have to go after some more continuing education credits, or even go after a whole new certification to validate what you know and how you can train. So now that you know who you are and who you're going after, who's your perfect avatar, you're hanging out in those groups and you're connecting with your people, how are you going to get noticed? Okay, so you know that show Eurovision. It's kind of like, I don't know, a hidden gem, I guess. I don't know if it's on Netflix or Hulu or one of those streaming apps, but it's called Eurovision. And I love it when they say, I'm checking you out, checking me out. And that's exactly what we're doing on social media. We're checking people out while they're checking us out. But you have to keep in mind, now that you're moving your personal training business online, think of yourself as a media company, and you have to get really good about getting noticed on all your social platforms. Now, if you are not very good at that, that's okay, because you love to train and you want to dial in on your training and your programming and you know how to do that like the back of your hand. Either it's going to be you, or definitely hire somebody to do it for you, because that's where it's at right now. So you don't have to recreate the wheel. You can do videos, articles, webinars, podcasts, and then, you know, we're going to repurpose that content. We'll talk about that in just a second. So when you are a media company, you are good at videos, you're good at writing articles, you're great at webinars, you're good at podcasting. So those are just some and the most popular media outlets that you can use. And then once you're out there, you're putting yourself out there, your tribe will show up. That is your perfect avatar, your perfect group, and you will build an audience that way. And again, once you start building up that audience, building trust, great quality content, those people will be converted paying clients for you. And again, like I said before, you don't have to recreate every day all this content. It's really good if you just picked one topic for the week. You may even pick a webinar topic for the month. And then from that webinar, you'll create 1-minute videos. So let's say you just pick one topic from your webinar, create 1-minute videos from that webinar. And then what you can do is you can take that webinar and turn it into a transcript. There are so many programs out there that will take you can even hire somebody to do that. We'll take your webinar and they will transcript your entire webinar for you, and then you can turn that into one big article or maybe even mini articles. And then when you are doing your webinar, you can strip the audio from that webinar and create a podcast from that. So this is all these little posts and social media outlets that you have can be created through one topic. So you definitely want to choose your social media platforms. And if you're not all over social media right now, just choose one social media platform. Choose one and just be an expert at it. Don't overwhelm yourself, especially if you're going to be doing this all on your own and you're not hiring somebody. You have a job to do. You are the trainer. So you can go to one platform, really be an expert at it. Again, you will start to build that audience through one platform. The key to social media is be consistent. So you're going to get a social media calendar, come up with weekly topics, just one topic. And what you'll do is you'll choose one day to do all your social media. Again, it could be go back to doing one webinar, strip the audio from the webinar, make a podcast out of it, do little mini articles. So then you could be posting those on a daily basis. You do want to show your face one time a day, at least once a day, show your face. That way people can start to connect with you. They will see you on an ongoing basis and they will feel like they know you already. And again, be a giver, not a taker. When you are going also, with every single post you have on your social media, you need to have a call to action. So maybe you have somebody to sign up for something. So they're registering for a class, they're registering for some type of training that you're offering, or they're actually buying something. But you want to have a call to action, regardless of what it is. You want to gather their information. Then you want to create a sense of urgency. Just to get these people signed up, either let's say they're signing up for something free, and that's gold. When you have their information, that is gold. Then when somebody slips into your DMs, then you know that they're very interested. They may be asking you a question, and the DMs, that equates money. And then once people click on that call to action button, just make it very easy for them to sign up. Don't take them through several steps for them to finally get through the checkout, because people get frustrated and then they stop altogether. So just make it super easy, one step to sign up. So let's talk about your soft skills. A lot of times trainers don't even talk about what soft skills, hard skills are. And so we're just going to dive into that just a little bit so that you have an understanding and start thinking in the direction of soft skills. So what do we mean by soft skills versus hard skills? Well, hard skills are all of the skills that you know how to do that makes you a really good trainer. So for example, if you know all about anatomy, physiology, kinesiology, those are all the skills that you learn. It's all head knowledge that you learned in school or within your certification. Also on how to assess your clients, that's a hard skill. Be able to assess your clients and set goals. Also to program design for them, to do progress tracking. Those are all of your hard skills. Your soft skills are what take you from being a proficient trainer to a really rock and roll coach. People just absolutely love you. That's where you start to build a name for yourself. You become the expert. So every trainer can do all of these hard skills when they learn them. However, it's that little extra that takes you over the top and makes you a really great coach. And when you're talking about soft skills, these are skills that can be innate or they can be learned. Innate, it's hard to give somebody passion, right? Now you can fake passion, but really passion for your soft skills, that's really innate. Communication can be a learned soft skill. So when you're communicating with your people, maybe you're a great communicator, you're passionate and you're enthusiastic, but maybe you're not quite there with connecting your people through communication. Your cueing is a soft skill that you can learn. And it's how, once again, online, it's how to connect with your people, cue properly on the internet, take some time in queuing because you know there may be some lag time. Empathy for your people, really feel for what your people are going through. Understand that they're a human being. There's all kinds of things that make up your humanness. So have empathy for those people. Friendliness, have a nice smile that comes across online. Have patience with your people. And then also leadership. Leadership is people are looking for that great leader to lead them from where they are right now in their life, health-wise, to really coming through and taking them from average to a rock star. So leadership is really important. People need that expertise, and you are the leader. But these are all examples of how you can learn to improve your soft skills. Another one is communication. When you're communicating with people online, especially online, sometimes the message gets lost in translation. So if that's the case, you definitely want to be very clear, concise, because again, once again, that message can get lost. So you just want to be very clear, concise. You want to hone in on your verbal and nonverbal cueing. So just when you're teaching, pretend that that person on the other end, they may be blind, they may be deaf. So you have to learn how to cue either way. And so that really helps you to sharpen up that skill. Also, your active listening skills as a trainer. Now, as an in-person training or as an in-person trainer, this is really valuable to understand and learn too, to be an active listener. And so that you're in tune with your clientele and that you're responding to them to let them know that you're listening to them. And once again, understand that these people across the online, across through your screen, they're real people, and they're just not a little robot inside your computer. Same thing with you. You are a real person. Show your humanness to your clientele. And the best word that you can use for your client to motivate them is their name. So use their name often, but use it genuinely. Be authentic with them. Call them by their name. And everything online, when you're training through a computer, it needs to be amped up big time. You have to show emotion, expression, passion, all of that. And it just needs to come through that much more across the computer. Also, you want to make sure that you as the trainer, you're providing or you're creating a safe place and a positive environment for your people. You're the leader. You've got that great leadership that you're leading your people. Either it's one-on-one with your client, or it could be a class situation. So if you have a class situation where you're training multiple people at the same time, create that safe and positive environment. Before you get going in your session, just open it up and chit chat with your people. Your people want to connect with the other people that are joining you online. So you might have people from different parts of the world joining you. So when they're chit chatting at the beginning, they're getting to know who they're coming to their online class with. Also at the end of your training session, just congratulate everyone, give them a virtual high five. Also, just say, hey, you guys, I'm so excited. I'll see y'all next time. And our next class is, and then just fill in the blank. That way you're keeping them accountable. You're encouraging them to come back, and you can't wait to see them, and keeps them lifted up. And you want to make that accountability fun. So if you do challenges that will engage them a little more and make that challenge a fun challenge, you can maybe a little fun little competition, like let's see how many push-ups you can do by the end of the month, whatever it is. Create that little challenge. Also get a Facebook group going for your specific people. Make it private so that they feel like it's very VIP, very exclusive for your group. So just a couple of suggestions on being that leader. Create camaraderie so that people will want to continue to coming back to your session. All right, let's talk about how to reorganize your business. Let's say that you're stepping out from doing in-person training or in-person group classes to all online. So one thing you have to keep in mind, just because it's online doesn't mean it's going to be easier. It doesn't mean that you don't have to follow all of the procedures that you would in person. You want to treat what you're offering as a business. So it's the same as in person. So you may want to think about setting up an LLC, a company. To protect you personally, set up a company. Super easy to do. You can do that online, not very expensive to do that. It may be that you're coming from being an employee as a W-2 worker to transitioning to running your own business. So if that is the case, you're the boss, the buck stops there, and you want to set up an LLC to protect yourself personally. Also to separate you as a person to your business, from your business. Again, you want to have a system where you're able to collect payment online. This will also help you keep really good tax records because once again, you're the boss. At every quarter, you're going to want to do your taxes. So that'll help you to keep good tax records so that you're following the rules and doing what you should be doing. Also, when that's kind of like the little business aspect of it, but in the operating of your business, once again, treat your clients like you set up an initial consultation, especially if you're doing one-on-one with these people. So you might want to discuss with them, do you feel comfortable being in a group environment, or do you want to stick with a one-on-one environment? And that's going to determine if they're just going to do video on demand or if they're going to do a two-directional Zoom video conferencing type of workout with you. Also, you want to collect onboarding information, you know, all those fun forms like the PAR-Q forms. What are your goals, your basic information like your name, address, phone number. Do you have any medical history that I need to know about? So all of that is still important. Collect that onboarding information. Also, especially if you're doing one-on-one with somebody, you want to set those goals for them, work with them on setting goals. Also, you want to have outcomes from those goals. You want to have something that they can measure. As a small example, I can only do 10 push-ups now. By the end of our time together, or by the end of this month, I want to be able to do 25 push-ups in a row without stopping. So that's just one little example to set a goal, but you want to make it measurable. Also, keep contact with your people, obviously, and you want to track their progress, check in with them. These are other little accountability points that you can use. Also, a big one, liability waiver. You absolutely need to collect that liability waiver, protect yourself. Also have your professional liability insurance to protect yourself as well. Let's see. So when you open up your class, at the beginning of your class, you want to make sure that you have that liability waiver that we talked about before. Also, you want to make sure that you have an agreement, just like you did in person. Make sure you have an agreement, like you have your policies and your procedures set up, and also have the ability to collect payment. But you also want to explain to your people, these are my policies and this is the payment structure. So make sure you have that in line. So when we talk about professional liability insurance, here are some common cases that could be brought against you, and that's why you definitely want to have professional liability insurance. Something like customer injuries during a class. You could have accusations of inappropriate conduct, defamation or slander, copyright infringement on your course or your materials or your music. So that is why you definitely want to have professional liability insurance. So just because you're online doesn't mean things won't happen. As if anything, you may be even more exposed because you are online. So just protect yourself. FitTour does have a partnership with Insure Fitness. So down here at the bottom, if you don't have liability insurance right now, it's not expensive. You definitely check them out and get liability insurance if you don't have it, or your professional liability insurance if you don't have it right now. Then, okay, nuts and bolts, you know your perfect avatar. You've got your company organized. You're going social. How do I market out there in the world, and how do I get clients? Well, first of all, if you have an email list, promote to your email list. I know it sounds pretty archaic to have an email list, but an email list is gold. People are still checking their emails because it seems to be pretty important to them. So email. Promote on social media. We already talked about that. When you're posting though, post details about your classes or post details about your private sessions. Show pictures from your current classes going on, or maybe a current private session. Of course, you're going to get that person's permission to be able to post that, but you definitely post details, the times, if it's a live broadcast, the times. Really just make sure it's very clear to your audience, to your avatar, what is happening. Make it easy for them to participate in what you're offering them. Offer maybe when you're marketing out there, offer some free classes. Again, that's going to be your live broadcasts on Facebook or Instagram TV. So offer those free classes. At the end of the free class, again, that call to action is super important. Maybe offer some introductory rates, whatever your program is. So offer those introductory rates, get them in, and then be fabulous once they're in. Be enthusiastic, but be real. People can detect if you're fake. So just be real with people. Another way that you can market is cross promote. Hook up with another trainer, another buddy, and play off of each other. Maybe if you have a partnership with somebody locally, like a chiropractor, you may want to do like a guest blog, or if they have a podcast, get on their podcast. That way you can share clients, and then just have a great partnership or referral system. So use the people around you, use those partnerships, make it fun. I know it may seem a little competitive out there, but create those relationships and those partnerships with other experts in the area. That way you can cross promote with them. So what you might want to do, making your first step to the online world, is start with your existing clients. I've got a great story. One of my best friends, she is 65 years old. She had a banging personal training business at our studio and live in-person studio or personal training sessions. And so when the pandemic hit, she had to take all of her clients online if she wanted to keep going. However, she's one of my best friends. She's 65 years old. Her clientele were all older adults. And a lot of them didn't even know what Zoom was. And so she had to help. First of all, she didn't even know anything about computers herself. And so she not only taught herself to learn Zoom and also Skype, she taught her older adults how to do Zoom and Skype. And then when talking with her, she says, you know, being online was the best decision I ever made. I was forced into that decision, but it was the best opportunity that I ever took, because she doesn't have the stress of getting in the car, driving to the studio. Her older adults, it was like a big deal for them. Maybe they couldn't drive themselves and they needed to have their caretaker take them to the studio so that they can get their exercise. So it was just a win-win for everybody. And it was so beneficial. However, again, even though it's great, treat it like a real business. If you're doing classes, limit your class sizes so that your people, your participants feel like it's very VIP. Password protect your classes and your sessions. You don't want to be giving out, be a giver, but when you have paying clients, you don't want people to jump on and just take your classes for free. There is a purpose and a reason for everything. Provide disclaimers at the beginning of your class. When during your class session itself, provide those disclaimers. Allow for water breaks during your session. Watch your form, watch your client's form and technique during the session. Provide those modifications. If you're doing video on demand, you can't see what people are doing on the other side, so provide those modifications. Also provide ample warm up and cool down. You want to make sure you're still providing a safe, effective workout for your people. All right, so show me the money. So first of all, you want to provide value to your people. So how do you do that? Well, make sure you're educated. FitTour provides unlimited amount, it seems like, of education here. So we're always working on providing you more and more education so that you can sharpen up all your skills, be who you want to be as a personal trainer or a group exercise instructor. We're, continuing education credits. We just keep sharpening up those skills and create value with what you offer. So I'm just going to get these all out here. If you are doing one-on-one training, you want to charge just like you would in person, and especially if it's one-on-one. So go ahead and charge per session. 30 minutes is what I would recommend. If you want to make it longer, that's totally up to you, but 30 minutes is a good time frame for one-on-one training. If you're doing semi-private training, that's about 2 to 4 clients, and so about 45 minutes is a good time frame for 2 to 4 clients. If you're doing group fitness classes, that's about 5 to plus more students, and 60 minutes is a good time frame for that. And there's different ways that you can charge for your clientele. You can charge per class. So you might want to charge a little more per class. Offer a discount if people buy a class package or a session package. So you can make it a little less if they buy maybe several, or let's say 8 sessions at a time, make it a little less. or you can offer even more discount for people that go monthly unlimited. So that's up to you. It's just like a market thing. So if you, you know, just kind of see what, obviously you're going to have your existing clients. So you might want to base your pricing off of what you're already charging in person, and then translate that into the online world. So how do you base your prices? Well, you base your pricing on connection. So you can have a low price point with all of your on-demand video. So have like a low entry point for that. You don't really have a human connection on a training session to training session, but they see you and they're connecting to you. So that might be a low entry point. Your midpoint are your live broadcasts. So if somebody signs up for your live broadcast and they're following a schedule with what you offer Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're going to be live, and then you want to charge a little bit more for that. Then you can take those live broadcasts, record them, and then now they go on to your on-demand video. Just remember also in your live broadcast, you can have that introductory where if people are coming onto Facebook or YouTube, one of those, you can have a little chit chat with them. Bi-directional or two-way, if it's just a one-on-one, that's when you want to have your higher price point for that, because they're getting you one-on-one and you're providing so much more value, and you are really addressing their goals, their program design one-on-one. So those are just some ideas that you can work with when you're setting up your business and in terms of what you want to charge. And I'm also always available for you. If you want to email me and contact me, I can always just kind of do a little informal session on what it is that you want to do specifically. And I can always provide you some insight, more information, and kind of get you over that little hump. I myself, I have mentors as well. And sometimes I need a little help just to kind of get me over a little hump that I may need. So it's very valuable to have somebody in your corner to help you be the best you can be as an expert. Also, you know, here at FitTour, we want to see you succeed as a fitness expert, a health and fitness professional. So we're always trying to get out there, provide you more information. So always stay tuned on our Facebook group. Look out for our emails, and always more of these webinars are coming your way to help you be the best that you can be. So I want to thank you guys so much for spending your time here with me. I know it's a lot of information. I believe that Melissa is recording this. So if you want to go back and refer to it, make some notes as you go along, you know, have at it. So Melissa, I'm done for today.
Hi. Awesome. Thank you so much. So guys, I put a couple of things in the chat. There is the link. I'll do it again just so you don't have to scroll. The link to Insure Fitness insurance. So the thing about insurance that is important to remember, some of it doesn't cover what is happening online. Some of it is only in person. So make sure if you have a current policy that you are covered online. Insure Fitness does have coverage online. It's $150 for the whole year. So that link through our partnership will get you that price point. We do have a couple of questions. Carolyn, do you have a minute?
I do.
Great. So the first one was from Estelle. How do you record during a live session on Zoom for repurposing later without showing participants?
That's a good question.
I don't think, can I just answer a little bit of this? I think it's really important to let them know it's being recorded.
Yes. Yes.
Because if you use it again and they don't want to have their face used in the repurposing of it, they would need to black out their camera.
Yes.
So I think you can just tell them the session will be recorded, and then you click record and save it to your computer somewhere. Don't save it to the cloud. That's never, I mean, it's there, but it's a little bit, you know, riskier, I would say. Right. So I would recommend if you're going to do it, make sure that the participants know so they can choose if they want to be included.
And also, that's a very good point that you bring up, because know where all your content is when you're recording, or if you've got it, just because you can maybe accidentally put it up in the cloud. So just make sure you know where your content is.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I have a jump drive specifically for each type of content that I'm making for each of the brands that I work with, so that I know where, if I need something for Fit Tour, I have to grab, the green jump drive. I don't want to have it all in one place, because then I'm like, where's the video that Carol Ann made? It's too much. So definitely agree, have a nice structure to how you save your stuff. Christy Berry asked, what are the best groups to search to find ideal clients?
Repeat that question one more time.
What are best groups to search to find ideal clients?
Okay, so this is a good question. So if you first of all, you have to ask yourself, who is my perfect avatar? For example, because of Chiseled Faith, I like to target churches specifically. So you can go, for me, I like to go into LinkedIn and look for churches, and I will start up a conversation with a pastor or the lead person in that church. I just strike up conversations. So find out who specifically it is. For example, another example would be multiple sclerosis. I use that example a lot because I work with David Lyons in this field, and he has a group of people, the Multiple Sclerosis Challenge Foundation, and that he has a big following in that Facebook group. And so again, if I were a person that would be targeting my avatar for multiple sclerosis, I would look for those groups. I would also look, and that can be easy on Facebook as well. So then I would find out who is the leader of that group, and then contact, like DM that leader of the group, and then just strike up a conversation with them. Because honestly, these groups that you're targeting as your avatar, they want you. They are dying for your services. And if you just don't be creepy about it, be nice and just approachable, not marketing like all the time down somebody's throat. You're just striking up a conversation. I hope I'm answering your question. First, you have to know who your avatar is, and then look for that type of clientele on Facebook, LinkedIn, hashtags on Instagram. So I hope I answered that question.
I think it does. So it's interesting. Estelle, who asked the question about recording live on Zoom and repurposing it, clarified our question a little bit. And I don't know here. So she said she needs to know how to make the recording only her, but she wants her clients to be able to have their video on so that she can, like check form, and because they don't want to black out their cameras, or else then she can't see what they're doing, right?
Right.
I don't know. I know that like the host is you can set it so the host is the only one to be recording.
Right.
But I don't know. Do you know if you can do that so it's only recording you?
I would have to, there might be a way that we could do that.
Yeah.
I would have to look that up.
Estelle, I would say I would connect with Zoom directly in their chat. Their chat platform is really quite nice and convenient. They answer questions quickly, but I don't know how that would work in Zoom.
Yeah.
Just kind of doing a quick search, it doesn't seem to give me that information. So I'm not really sure. If I find it, I will keep you posted. Or if you find it, let us know, because
yes, sure. I will definitely. Now that yes.
Oh,
it seems like whatever platform you choose to use, you have to really kind of know that particular platform.
So actually, Paula in the chat responded, you can pin your video to only record you.
Okay.
So that's interesting. I believe pinning yourself, they're saying that must be some kind of feature I've never done myself, but let me see. If you go integrated video settings, I guess we could just Google. Estelle, I would recommend Googling how to pin your video in Zoom, because I have never done that. I typically record other people, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's so funny. Everybody here on this webinar is going to go and Google all that in Zoom. And so
Yeah.
that's going to be like a really popular question.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, there's another one. Melinda Kira also says you can pin yourself and still see the others. She uses it for work. So that's awesome. Yeah, it is possible.
There you go.
See, that's what happens when you have a webinar. I love it. So Martha did ask a question. Martha, you can find this recording. I will post it once it is done. I'll post it up to our Facebook page, and I'll also share it to everyone that attended just directly into your email. So you'll get it a couple of different ways. Okay, all right. I don't think I have any other questions. Let me double check. Thank you, thank you. It says right click the white dots and click pin video. Okay, well now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Now
there's the answer.
I like it. Right click the white dots and pin video. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Carol Ann, and thank you to all of you for joining us today. It was wonderful to learn again more from you. Always learning from you, Carol Ann. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I had fun. We'll do it again next month.
Fantastic. We will talk to you guys soon. And don't forget to check out IFG's insurance policies. They are reasonably priced and they will cover you in the event of an issue. And you want to be covered. All right, guys. Thanks so much and have a wonderful day. Bye.